As construction season heats up, the North Dakota DOT, Highway Patrol, and contractors are asking you to help keep workers safe in construction zones this summer. It's still early, but there has already been some notable crashes, like these two on I-94 near Jamestown. The DOT says there's been about 180 construction projects lined up across the state this year, including many on I-94. They're also hoping the legislature will increase penalties and fines in work zones, saying the $80 minimum hasn't been increased since 2001.
It'll have people think a little bit more about slowing down in those work zones, because when there are workers present, there's no amount of equipment that can protect them, from a vehicle that may strike them.
Troopers say their biggest issues are speeding, distracted driving, and impaired driving.